1. Which of the following best demonstrates a transportation manager applying adult learning principles when mentoring drivers on compliance updates? A. Reading the entire regulatory code aloud. B. Using real-life driving scenarios to illustrate key rules. C. Providing only written manuals without discussion. D. Testing drivers immediately without preparation. 2. When evaluating the effectiveness of a new safety curriculum for fleet operators, the most valid measure is A. Number of manuals distributed. B. Reduction in safety violations over time. C. Attendance at training sessions. D. Hours of instruction delivered. 3. A certified transportation professional, CTP, designs training for dispatchers to ensure knowledge retention. Which evaluation method is most appropriate? A. Open book quiz immediately after training. B. Role-play exercises simulating real dispatch challenges. C. Handing out reference guides with no assessment. D. Mandatory attendance sheets only. 4. In curriculum development for driver wellness, which approach aligns with adult learning theory? A. Emphasizing rote memorization. B. Providing interactive discussions on stress management. C. Assigning lengthy textbook readings. D. Focusing exclusively on regulatory text. 5. During a mentoring session, a senior CTP encourages a trainee to reflect on a recent compliance mistake. This technique represents A. Directive instruction. B. Reflective learning. C. Punitive evaluation. D. Passive listening. 6. When a transportation company updates its hours of service (HOS) training program, which curriculum development step should come first? A. Writing test questions. B. Defining measurable learning objectives. C. Designing handouts. D. Selecting the training venue. 7. A CTP wants to evaluate a new onboarding program for fleet technicians. The most comprehensive method is A. Participant feedback only. B. Observation, testing, and operational performance data. C. Trainer self-assessment. D. Counting the number of sessions held. 8. A communication barrier often faced in transportation training sessions is A. Consistent terminology. B. Jargon, unfamiliar to new drivers. C. Clear visual aids. D. Step-by-step instructions. 9. The most effective way for a mentor to promote regulatory compliance is by A. Demonstrating compliance behaviors personally. B. Expecting drivers to memorize policies. C. Punishing all violations equally. D. Limiting communication to written memos. 10. Which regulatory compliance area is most critical for CTPs when designing safety training? A. FMCSA hours of service rules. B. Local community traffic bylaws. C. Company dress code. D. Parking lot assignments. 11. To evaluate training effectiveness, which method best measures behavioral change? A. Written knowledge test. B. Observation of drivers on the job. C. Attendance records. D. End-of-course survey only. 12. An adult learner in a transportation safety course asks for practical tips. The trainer responds with examples from crash investigations. This illustrates A. Curriculum misalignment. B. Relevance to learner experience. C. Passive delivery. D. Inappropriate evaluation. 13. A CTP develops a curriculum for hazardous materials, hazmat compliance. The most effective design step is A. Begin with case studies of hazmat incidents. B. Provide abstract theories only. C. Skip assessments for experienced drivers. D. Focus only on management staff. 14. When mentoring new drivers, an effective strategy to reinforce communication is A. Encourage two-way feedback during training. E. Deliver long lectures without questions. C. Provide written policies only. D. Avoid discussing mistakes. 15. A CTP designing assessments for a compliance course should ensure the questions A. Are directly linked to learning objectives. B. Are unrelated to course content. C. Require excessive memorization of legal codes. D. Use only true, false formats. 16. Which evaluation method best measures knowledge application in a fleet safety program? A. Multiple choice exam only. B. Simulation exercises. C. Self-reported surveys. D. Sign-in sheets. 17. A key principle in adult learning for transportation professionals is A. Adults learn best through passive memorization. B. Adults prefer practical, problem-centered learning. C. Adults are motivated only by grades. D. Adults retain knowledge through repetition only. 18. When providing compliance updates, which communication approach is least effective? A. Clear, jargon-free explanations. B. Linking rules to real-world driving experiences. C. Reading lengthy regulations without context. D. Allowing open Q&A sessions. 19. In curriculum development for driver performance, a needs assessment primarily identifies A. Training location. E. Specific knowledge and skill gaps. C. Printing costs. D. Instructor availability. 20. Which mentoring technique builds confidence among trainee drivers? A. Positive reinforcement for safe practices. B. Ignoring driver concerns. C. Emphasizing only mistakes. D. Assigning work without feedback. 21. A transportation trainer uses evaluation results to revise course content. This demonstrates A. Continuous improvement. B. Curriculum stagnation. C. One-time compliance. D. Passive delivery. 22. The most effective way to evaluate communication effectiveness in a CTP program is A. Participant surveys plus observation of workplace communication. B. Trainer self-evaluation only. C. Checking attendance. D. Reviewing written policies. 23. When mentoring dispatch supervisors, a CTP applies adult learning principles by A. Encouraging reflection on real scheduling challenges. B. Providing only theoretical lectures. C. Avoiding questions. D. Focusing exclusively on policy manuals. 24. In regulatory compliance training, the most effective curriculum design feature is A. Linking requirements to actual case studies. B. Memorizing rule numbers. C. Using abstract theories only. D. Eliminating learner interaction. 25. Which evaluation strategy best measures long-term effectiveness of driver safety training? A. Crash rate trends over 12 months. B. Quiz scores immediately after training. C. Attendance logs. D. Trainer feedback only. 26. A mentor helping a trainee improve record keeping should A. Show how accurate logs prevent compliance penalties. B. Ignore mistakes to reduce stress. C. Provide only theoretical explanations. D. Avoid discussing regulations. 27. A key communication skill for CTP professionals during training is A. Active listening. B. One-way instruction. C. Avoiding learner input. D. Overloading learners with data. 28. To ensure compliance with FMCSA rules, training assessments should A. Test both knowledge and application skills. B. Focus only on memory recall. C. Be optional for experienced drivers. D. Use generic, unrelated questions. 29. When designing a curriculum on cargo securement, the CTP should emphasize A. Practical demonstrations of proper securement. B. Theoretical models without context. C. Long lectures with minimal visuals. D. Unrelated management theories. 30. Which mentoring approach encourages accountability? A. Setting clear expectations and following up. E. Ignoring compliance violations. C. Leaving trainees unsupervised. D. Providing no performance feedback. 31. The best evaluation tool for measuring communication effectiveness in crisis response training is A. Scenario-based drills. B. Attendance records. C. Instructor opinion only. D. Written policies. 32. A transportation training program that emphasizes learner participation follows which adult learning principle? A. Learner involvement. B. Passive memorization. C. One-way delivery. D. Punitive compliance. 33. A CTP revises a safety curriculum after analyzing accident data. This demonstrates A. Data-driven curriculum development. E. Random updates. C. Ignoring performance metrics. D. Passive instruction. 34. A mentor using storytelling about past compliance issues is applying A. Experiential learning. B. Irrelevant content. C. Passive memorization. D. One-way lecture.